श्रियं सरस्वतीं गौरीं गणेशं स्कन्दमीश्वरं ब्रह्माणं वह्निमिन्द्रादीन् वासुदेवं नमाम्यहम्. This is the first video in this podcast series about site reliability engineering. We understand site reliability engineering as a set of scientific principles that are used in organizations to reliably develop and maintain software products. Not only that, these principles can be used in general by anyone to reliably and in a data-driven manner perform any activity. Individuals or teams in development or operations or product management teams can benefit from this podcast series. Among the developers, I include front-end developers, back-end developers, or full-stack developers. Among the operations, I include cloud engineers, DevOps engineers, DevSecOps, site reliability engineers. These are generally system admins or system engineers. Among product managers, I include entrepreneurs and the managers who are responsible for launching features as part of the product. In the Google Cloud's course about reliability engineering in general and customer reliability engineering in particular, I learned that there are three principles of reliability. First is that reliability must be seen as a feature, and not only that, it must be seen as the most important feature among all the features that the product offers or the service offers. The second principle is that it's the end user of the application that determines whether the service is reliable or the product is reliable. Doesn't matter what the monitoring and alerting tools are reporting. If the monitoring and alerting tools are reporting that everything is fine, but user complains that there's some issue, then that means the product or the service is not reliable. Third principle is that if we engineer the software well, then we can achieve 3 nines of reliability. That means 40 minutes in a 28 days error budgeting period. And if the operations is also engineered well, then we can have an error budget of 4 minutes in a 28 days period. And on top of software engineering, operations engineering, if business is also engineered well, then we can achieve up to or more than 5 nines of reliability. I like this book by Vladislav Yuki. This diagram, figure 3.10 in this book, is called SRE Concept Pyramid. I like this diagram because it gives a strategic approach towards setting up site reliability engineering foundations in your team. And in this video, we'll focus on the most fundamental concept, that is SLI, Service Level Indicator. SLIs indicate about certain aspect of reliability. Aspects of reliability are listed here in this diagram around the yellow V. SLIs are functions that represent user happiness in a linear relationship. What that means is the number SLI should increase with user happiness, and this is usually calculated in the form of a ratio of good number of events upon all the valid number of events. SLI must represent user happiness, and 3 to 4 SLIs per service or per endpoint determine the level of happiness users enjoy with that service. There are two major categories of SLI. First is availability, second is latency. And this is quite obvious because in order to be reliable, an endpoint should be available first. And once it is available, we care about how fast it responds. So that brings us to latency. So availability and latency are two major SLIs. There are other aspects of SLIs. First is achievable SLI, which can be achieved by taking into consideration already being recorded information. And the second category is aspirational SLIs. These SLIs are based on the business requirements or the business needs planned to achieve higher degree of user happiness or stakeholder happiness, in other terms. So service level indicators, to conclude, are basically numbers, fractional numbers between 0 and 1 that represent how happy a user is in terms of some aspect of reliability. Usually, to gather the happiness aspect of a user journey, we would be picking up SLIs from an SLI menu, and this menu can be categorized roughly in three categories. First, request response type. Second, data processing type. And third, data storage type. So, for instance, for a user journey that involves user generated data, we might consider one or more among these four SLIs: coverage, correctness, freshness, or throughput. These are the four major steps involved in designing an SLI for any user journey. Step 1. We pick SLI specifications from SLI menu, one at a time. Second step is we refine the specification into a detailed implementation. We'll see in the next video what those specifications might involve. In the step 3, we walk through the user journey to look for coverage gaps. Is there any aspect of the user journey that we missed accounting for? That's the question we go with in step 3. And at step 4, we set aspirational SLO targets based on the business needs. So besides the basic SLIs of the likes of availability, latency, we might also want to consider new SLIs which are specific to the business needs as defined in business goals. Service level indicators is the most fundamental concept in site reliability engineering practices. This is a summary of other concepts, and we'll take a look at these concepts, namely SLO, error budget policy, and error budget based decision making in the next few videos. Till then, thank you for watching. श्रियं सरस्वतीं गौरीं गणेशं स्कन्दमीश्वरं ब्रह्माणं वह्निमिन्द्रादीन् वासुदेवं नमाम्यहम्।